Good afternoon or good evening. We'll start from the front row with Brian Robb.
Hey, man, after a tough offensive first quarter for you guys, you came back with Jason and Jalen to start the second quarter there, kind of out of your usual rotation. Was that the plan going into, like, obviously extend the morning game like this, or was that with you the feel of the game, and what allowed you guys just to turn it around offensively from there?
Yeah, it wasn't the plan. We went into it with our original rotations, and to your point, didn't have the best offense in the first quarter. Felt good about it, only being down 6, 26-20, and knew we were defending at a high level, but had to clean up offensively, and didn't love the flow of it. So brought those guys back in to get us a spark, and understanding it's a game 7, nothing to save guys for. As far as another game coming up soon, although it's the same day in between, we wanted to finish the series and gave those guys a little bit more run.
Grant's been spending kind of his whole career trying to fight through, I guess, doubt, shooting the ball when he hits these cold streaks. He's been on this cold streak for a while, and he started to show a little bit of that early in the game. What did you say to him to get him back on track?
I told him let it fly. They're disrespecting you more tonight than earlier in the series, and that was the plan on him and other guys, and really shifting and making them try to beat us. And you saw it on the first one that he made, and then he missed a few and got a little hesitant. And I basically said, shoot the ball. Like, what else can you do? So stop driving into the crowd, take the shot that they're giving you. And he broke Steph Curry's records for assists, attempts in the game 7. So he said 2 Charlotte shooters. He's going to gloat about it for sure.
Ime, one of your big things was getting Jalen, Jason to trust their teammates, and it just seems the trust that they have in a guy like Grant so high at this point. What kind of led to just the trust they've developed in their teammates this year?
Yeah, understanding who they are and the game plan on a night-to-night basis. They've pretty much seen everything throughout the season. And I wouldn't say it's only Grant, it's everybody who's on the floor. If they miss somebody, it's not intentional because of a certain player that's open or not. And, that was the case tonight again. They loaded up extremely heavy off of those guys, tried to make them prove it, and, led to some assists by those guys and us getting 55. But the mantra of the series was, take what they give us and let it fly, and understand they're going to pack the paint, and, happen to make 22 tonight. But, we felt we were very close to having a really good game offensively, kind of blowing it open. Hadn't played our best and got some tight wins, but, it's great to save our best for last as far as that, and then defensively as well.
Second quarter, I think you dropped 7 fouls in the first few minutes there, getting in the paint more. What kind of shook things loose when you saw how much they packed the paint in that first quarter?
Yeah, I think it's, like I said, it's who they are and who they've been the whole series, but we don't want to just settle for the outside shot. We got to mix it up, and I think we did that best in game 6, getting 50-plus points in the paint. And so tonight was the same thing. When they started to switch, we got the matchups that we liked, attacked downhill and got some fouls early, got into the bonus, and then kind of picked up our aggression from there.
Ime, how would you describe playing against Giannis for 7 games?
Hard. The way he plays, and everybody's different. And, I experienced it as a player of certain guys that are in attack mode all game and come downhill and, don't let you off the hook. And whether there's other guys that are jump shooters that you can, be physical with, and they'll kind of bail out. And so, it's extremely hard task because of the way he attacks and doesn't settle, and, his size, strength, and length. And so it shows why he's obviously an MVP candidate every year and champion. And, another tough one, but it felt like we kind of started to grind him down a little bit tonight. He missed some of the easier shots around the basket, and that's what we talked about. We're not relying on one guy. And, when you look at Holiday and him, a lot of times they were taking close to the number of shots to get that amount of points. And so we stuck with that, making them work, kind of locking in on the other guys. And every game you looked at the stat sheet, it was a bunch of zeros across the board from 3 specifically for, Portis and Connaughton, Allen, even what Matthews as well. And so we wanted to make them work, grind it out, and we felt we would do the same thing we did to some of the Brooklyn guys last series. But to your point, it's one of the toughest things to do. It's that balance of letting them get going one-on-one, going after them and opening some things up. And we decided on the latter to kind of trust our guys and make it tough on them.
Yeah, I was kind of going to ask along the same lines. He had 6 assists in the first quarter, and then 3 the rest of the way. What was it that you changed after the first quarter? What did you guys do differently to kind of clamp down on that?
Yeah, we mixed up some blitzes early to try to keep them off balance. But more so than that, it was just poor recognition out of rotations early, where Portis got a clean three, Lopez got a clean three up top, and that was like I said, one of our mantras is run those guys off the line, not let them beat us from three. So it wasn't as much us going after him as him just getting off the ball and making some nice passes, and us not being as aware as we need to be in the first quarter.
Were you just kind of playing it safe with Rob, or did you not want to disrupt when things have been going well in general the last few games?
Both. I think, like I said, it was on a need-be basis. Foul trouble, we need a defensive rebound at the free throw line, or some rim protection on a specific play, we could use him. But at the same time, we won 2 out of the last 3 without him, and had a chance to win game 5, obviously. So it wasn't like we were desperate to get him back. We understand what it is and want to take the cautious approach. And if we needed to get him in, we would. But I would say a little bit of both, and we were fine with Tice, Al, and Grant doing what they've done all series.
And you said a minute ago you felt like you guys were close to having one of these games where you blow it open. What were the indications? What kinds of things had you seen that made you feel that way?
We were guarding extremely well. I mean, to save your best for last, to give up 2 17-point quarters and 38 in the second half, we felt that was pretty consistent throughout the series. 81 tonight, they had 86, obviously 95, 101, and a 103, which are, for that team, really good defensive numbers. Offensively, we just weren't as crisp as we were. We knew if we defended at the level we have been and had one of our nights shooting wise and getting downhill and kind of mixing everything up, this could be the result. And every game, it felt like we were in that 13, 14-point range with the lead and never really pushed to extend it. And we did that tonight.
Ime, more of a simple question. How good does it feel to beat the Bucks, the defending NBA champs, in a 7-game series where you battled them from start to finish and move into the East Final?
Yeah, it feels great. It's a great accomplishment for our guys. Like I said, I've been in the playoffs every year as a coach, and won a championship, got there, and got to conference finals and all that. But our group has as well. And so, although they're young, they've been through some things, and so it's just another feather in their cap with Jason, Jalen, some of the guys taking on a bigger role now. And so great for us to battle back the way we did. It's what we played for, why we played the season out, to have home court advantage in the game 7. And, we believe in the basketball gods, those things matter. And so for us, we played it out and did what we did really most of the second half of the year, not fearing anybody and playing the way we have. And so it's good to kind of be rewarded against a really tough test.
Ime, after the game 5 loss, you said right here, this will make the comeback even sweeter after what really made you believe that, other than the schemes about the makeup of your team, that you could win the 2 games by a combined 41 points and kind of just dominate the final 2 games?
Like I said, there were indicators how close we were, whether it was us missing some shots, but defensively, we were going to lean on who we are, and we know that travels well on the road. Guys were pissed off about it more so than, down and defeated about it. And like I said, we turned the page pretty quickly and looked at why we didn't finish that game. Having a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, it's not like we were blown out and despondent, like we couldn't get the win. And so we had to take it one game at a time. But we did know as a staff, the numbers say if the loser of game 5 loses 82% of the time. And so we wanted to flip that script, obviously, and make it hard. We made it harder than we had to, but it would be sweeter if we go this route. And I think it'll boost our confidence going forward.
Has this team believed in each other? I mean, obviously you have a belief in them, and you've been brutally honest with them all year. But has this team gained more of a cohesion and belief in each other as the season has progressed?
Oh, definitely. It's not even close. It's a team that's been together for a while. Some guys have, but in different roles and with a different voice. And so some things at times can creep back into your mind, and I've come in with a fresh set of eyes and perspective to seeing what we have, seeing the growth and the possibilities. And so, I've always been on them about that, but we have to go about it a certain way to get to where we want to get. And so, enough proof is our record, second half of the season, probably having the best overall record, best offense, best defense. And so those things aren't a fluke in a 45-game span. And so we wanted to carry that over into the playoffs. A sweep against Brooklyn and a hard-fought 7-game series will only benefit us with our belief in ourselves.
Ime, along the lines of a bit of a follow-up to what Gary had asked, what kind of message sent or even lesson learned did you get from the way your guys closed out game 6 and 7?
Yeah, we were pissed off, no doubt. I think the group shared that as a whole. We understood we had some close losses and close wins, but weren't playing our best. And so we all had the belief that we could take it to another level, and felt like they were grinding to get those wins, and we weren't playing our best. And so that's what I kept leaning on with our guys and talking about. Let's have a full game, not a half, not, 3 quarters. Let's put one full game together. And we thought this could be the result, but I don't think our guys ever really got down. They were more motivated by what we let get away. And like I said, we made it harder on ourselves, but we all still saw the goal and the possibility at hand.
A lot of first-year head coaches aren't fortunate enough to be on this Game 7 stage at TD Garden in the fourth quarter with the crowd going. Did you ever take a moment to take it all in? And at what point did you walk off the court thinking about Miami?
I wouldn't even say the 5-minute mark. It was around 20 and with 5:33 on the clock. And I was telling our guys, it's finished. It's not over yet. And maybe when they pulled their guys with 2 minutes or so left, but as a head coach now, the one thing that's different this year is you don't see faces in the crowd. You don't hear the crowd. I kind of zone in, and that's been the case all year. Whereas an assistant, you're looking around, whatever. And everybody talks about how loud it's been in here, and I never heard it until tonight. That's how you kind of zone out, and then I guess you take the time to appreciate it when it's a 20-some point game with 2 minutes to go, and you're hearing the crowd and looking around and seeing everybody standing. So that was the first time I really felt it in the series. But at that point, you felt like it was over and could, I guess, take a breath.
How big was the end of the second quarter? Not even just like up until the Marcus free throws, but allowing you guys to gain that momentum and come out the third quarter the way you did.
Yeah, it was big. I think, we took a shot too early and let them get the ball back and got the steal and got those free throws. But to be up, I think it's 6 at half, we felt we didn't play that well. To be down 6 and probably it was 5 at half, but we were down 6 after the first quarter, didn't play that well. So we were fortunate to be where we were and fortunate to have the end of the half like we did. But my whole point was let's take it to the level that we know we can and continue to guard that way and share the ball. And you kind of saw that coming out of the third quarter. Moved the ball extremely well, got wide open shots, and we just said, that was the message at halftime, stay confident, you're getting wide open looks that we're missing. So let's flip the script and turn those around, and you saw the result.
Given the way you guys reacted and the way that the series turned out, and the fact you have more games still to go, is Game 5 valuable now? Is the fact that it went the way it did and your guys learned what they learned from it, is that something that's an important part of your season going forward?
Yeah, I think you can take some value in a reminder more so than anything. We had lost our fair share of those early in the season. You hate to be reminded in the playoff game to give one away like that, but stay in the moment, stay sharp and crisp and finish games, which we had done for the most part since the New York loss or whatever it was in January. And so you hate to be reminded and have to work a little bit harder and win another game, but it's just more fuel, I guess, to continue to do what we've done all year, and especially in the second half of the year. So there is value in learning another lesson and kind of being reminded of how good we have to be to close out games in the playoffs.
Ime, different guys have stepped up throughout this series, whether it was Al Horford early on and Grant tonight. How big is that for a team with championship aspirations?
Yeah, it's huge. And, you in a series, a role player can flip a series. And I've seen that as a player and a coach. Certain ones definitely stand out. And so you rely on your big guys to do what they do every night, and the other teams as well for the most part. But those guys can make or break a series. And, it's good for us that, like I've said quite a few times, we don't rely on one guy, although we understand who our main scorers are. We kind of spread around equal opportunity. We want to have that balance, and it affords everybody the opportunity to kind of step out and shine on certain nights, whoever's chance it is. But, we'll lean on Jason and Jalen, do what they do on a night-to-night basis and get the contributions from everybody else. I think that's what makes us harder to guard than, focus on one guy, Holiday or Giannis or whoever it may be.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Grant, you miss a couple early threes there. Ime said he told you to let it fly. What was kind of your mindset after you missed some early ones and got going?
Yeah, it's tough to, get in your own head when your entire team, like 15 people walk up to you and say, let it fly, keep shooting. So for me, it was just like, all right, they're encouraging it, like might as well take advantage. So each one, as time went on, got more comfortable, kept shooting. And then I guess Ime made a joke, I shot 18, and that's most probably threes I've shot in my life in a single game. So it was fun, but it's just great that we got a win.
Feel different shooting those in a game 7?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a little bit more like just you're excited. I feel like your excitement gets the best of you sometimes. So like the first one I shot was calm and quick, but the other I kind of rushed. So as I settled in, I kind of just able to knock down, took my time on the shots and not really rushed them. Even if guys were flying at me, still took my time and knocked them down.
Seemed like they kind of decided they were going to dare you to shoot. What did you think about the defensive strategy against you?
Yeah, I feel like they were just trying to make adjustments throughout the series. They've tried to adjust, whether it was on Al, whether they put Giannis on him, then they put Brooke on me, and just trying to figure out what's best for them. And originally it started to work a little bit, but then I started making shots, so they had to switch it up. They put, I think, Pat Connaughton or somebody else on me. So it was just a matter of if that's how they want to play it. I've worked on my shot enough to be able to knock those down and be confident enough to shoot them. And I think my teammates know if I get, 18, I'll make 40% out of them at least. So it was just a matter of continuing to execute what we wanted to do, get those open looks and take advantage of them.
Grant, what did you maybe learn about your guys, or what kind of message was sent in particular with how you guys closed these last 2 games and today, especially where it looked like they started to wear down whenever things really got rolling in the fourth?
Yeah, it was just, we knew we were going to persevere. We knew we have a group that is going to accept adversity. And for us, it was just a matter of staying consistent. We hadn't put a full game together this entire series. So we just said, like, why not now? Why not put it all together? And I think we had them 2 17-point quarters, and we had a good offensive night shooting it. So we just did what we were supposed to do originally and just tried to execute what we tried to do the whole time.
Hey, Grant, in a different time in the NBA, somebody with your build wouldn't be asked to sort of camp out from the 3-point line. And I know in college you shot, 29% from there. How much work has gone into becoming the 3-and-D impact player that you are?
Yeah, it's just a lot of work from the guys that I've been around, whether it's my coaching staff at Tennessee, coaching staff here in the Celtics. Something that I knew that I have to add to my arsenal to expand and be consistent in this game and to play at this level. So it's just a matter of the years that I think, spent and shots that I've taken. And also credit to the people that have really supported and helped and along that way, whether it was Brandon Bailey from the Celtics past season, my coach, all the way up to Evan Braz now, who's with me now. So it's just a matter of giving credit to where credit's due for them and also kind of accepting it for yourself.
Grant, you had a few games there where you struggled with the shot. How much of the physical defense that you were asked to play played into that? And how are you able to kind of work your way through almost like in real time through this game to kind of break out of it?
Yeah, I think I would say that it was more so I was too focused on the defensive side and I wasn't shooting it. It wasn't even, I feel like I was struggling with the shot. It's just like I shot, I think 2 times last game, 1 time the game before, something like that, because I was shot picking a lot. So that's why the coaches, staff, and the team just said, encouraged me to shoot it. Like, you're open, like, take advantage of that. If they put Brooke on you, take advantage of it. And that's what I tried to do tonight, and it had success with it. And it was a great challenge to guard a guy like Giannis, and it's a tremendous effort for not only myself but the team. But it was just an exciting time to be able to say that tonight was the night we had success.
Ime said that he was expecting you to probably crow about some of the Steph Curry records. Have you already started talking in the locker room?
No, not at all. I just laughed because I said he said it, and I said we're both from Charlotte, so it must be a thing. But it was it's just cool to be able to say, like, I remember they told me that I think I tied the record or something like that in Game 7. I don't know what it was, but I felt like that's just pretty cool to be kind of happy about. And I guess I have to forget about it tomorrow because we got to get ready for the Heat.
Grant, as all the 3-pointers that were going in tonight, it seemed like the most emotion we saw on the court was when you stopped that Bobby layup late in the fourth. What about that play just brought the most emotion out of you throughout the whole night?
Yeah. Bobby, if you know, like, especially if you know him, you know how competitive he is, you know how aggressive and like how he's going to play to the final whistle. So it was one of those moments that like you kind of have as a kid where you're both lining each other up and one of you is going to dunk on the other and the other one's going to block it. Like, so it was one of those moments where like, I remember, I forget who was behind me, but I kind of gave up on whoever was behind me and just tried to make a play at the rim. And when I got the block, I just kind of was super excited, celebrating it, and like really, really like pumped because looking back and over the years of your career, you've had moments like that where it's gone the other way. You've had moments where you got that block. So especially for Bobby, like how competitive he is, we were able to talk about it afterwards. It was a great moment.
Grant, 7:44 left in the third quarter. Jason picks up his fourth. Felt like the rest of that quarter was going to be a swing moment one way or the other. How did you guys not only maintain the lead, but build on the lead while he was out on the bench?
Yeah, it was just about execution. We knew that we had to get back in transition and keep them off the break. That's how they score against us. And they guard them in the half court. And then guys made big plays and big shots. JB played phenomenally. Al, Peyton made a lot of tough shots in those moments. It was just a team overall effort because we knew with Jason out, we're going to have to kind of shift how we do what we do. But we've done it before, and Jason T has all the utmost confidence in us. So we were just kind of excited to be able to play, and he was cheering us on along the way. And that was something that, like, when you look across the team, like that's a special thing to have, especially on the Celtics, where this kind of love and brotherly like love here has been so special.
Hey, Grant, Ime told us he felt that you guys were finally starting to grind Giannis down here tonight. Is that something you also felt? And if not, what did you feel or sense from him just in that second half?
Yeah, I feel like it was a bang series, you know? Everybody was banged up. Everybody was playing intensely. And it was a matter of who wavered first. And I feel like we did a great job of just making sure that everything he had was tough, whether it was driving to the rim, whether it was shooting a jumper, like everything that he had to do, walking up the court, even defensive actions, putting them in him. So whether or not he wavered, I don't know. I have to look back to the film because Ime has a better understanding than I do. But we definitely did a good job on him to just make it tough on him every single play, every single night.
Grant, did you walk into the locker room and tell everyone to call you Batman? Or bring that back?
I didn't bring it back. I said if it gets labeled, I feel like then it would be exciting. But until somebody else says it, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
Could you have imagined this? I mean, this kind of performance, you know, even a year ago, last season, when you were battling for playing time, to be able to come out here in a game 7 and step up like you did?
Yeah, I knew just from, it's not the same thing, but the bubble from my rookie year, game 7, I knew how kind of intense that was, and being thrown in fourth quarter after not playing and then getting that stop and block on Van Vliet and all this. I remember going through those emotions. So I was like, that's kind of how this night's going to be. Like, you have to be prepared for not only the highs, but the lows. And if you asked me last year, I'd probably be head down, you know, keep it moving. But I think the work that I put in over the past year and a half, 2 years, 3 years I've been in the league has helped me be in this position. It's glory not only to God in that sense, but also to everyone around me.
Yeah, you brought up the bubble. Are you guys looking for a little redemption against this Miami team?
Yeah, we played them in the conference finals my rookie year. It's exciting to be able to play against this team now. Similar kind of makeup where they have Bam and Jimmy and the physical guys. They had a PJ. They have a lot of toughness on that team, and they shoot the ball well. So we'll have to be able to lock in and focus in on our game plan against them in the scheme, and watch some of their film they had this past series against Philly. So it's just going to be exciting to be able to kind of run it back against them, especially with fans in the arenas.
That's true. How cool is it for you and Bam to be able to, I mean, reignite this battle that you guys have had since you were much younger?
It's always great. I always take it like love the competition we've had from high school to college to NBA. Like, it's super, super dope to just be able to say we've made it this far. So now it's just a matter of battling again and kind of going against one another for like what, the 12 or maybe more times. So it'll be fun.
Grant, 2 quick ones. How do you feel after guarding Giannis for 7 games? I mean, just that could be like a mini series. The contact you took. How are you feeling?
Oh, first, I'd be dumb to say that I don't feel like a little banged up, but everyone does at this time of the year. And it's one of those things you just have to take care of yourselves and get ready for another physical series, because the Miami group is physical too. So Giannis does a phenomenal job of putting pressure on you especially on the physical side of things. But it's just a matter of understanding that you have to be mentally strong and take care of yourself, because at this time of the year, everyone's banged up a little bit. So you got to persevere through it.
And after game 5, everyone said, hey, we can do it. We can come back. But what made you guys really believe you could? Because that's just, you could just say that, but you guys actually did it.
Yeah. For us, we knew that we would beat ourselves in those losses. Like each game that we played that we lost, we felt like we beat ourselves, versus the games where we felt like we did everything, like we just kind of executed and took care of the ball and all this other stuff. We knew we were gonna have success. So we just said we have to be better at execution and understanding that we can't beat ourselves these last 2 games. And we did a good job of not only staying strong and mentally strong through the ups and downs, but also did a great job of executing down the stretch. Thank y'all. Oh.
Jason, just your thoughts on being able to do what you did after you guys lost a tough one here, come back in game 6, and then coming together to win game 7. How good of a feeling was that today?
It was a great feeling. Like you said, losing game 5 was extremely tough, but it was all about how we bounced back and how we responded going on the road, winning that must win game 6 and then a must win game 7 tonight. And tonight was an extreme team effort. I couldn't be prouder of the way that we just responded and how we played to get this win.
Jason, you pick up your 4th there earlier in the 3rd. What did you think about how the guys responded and kind of picked you up over the rest of that period?
That was huge. The way that they played together, moved the ball, made the right plays on both ends, and extended the lead. I was extremely happy and excited watching the guys from the bench.
Jason, just what did you see from Grant, and did he say anything after the game? I know after the Batman thing and everything, he likes to talk. So,
Grant played great tonight, right? He took more shots than anybody on the team. I think that's a first. He took 18 threes. I told him, don't get used to that. But obviously tonight we needed it. He came up big, played amazing, had 27 points. And in the playoffs, you need that. You know, you need guys, the guys coming off the bench to be a star in their role. And, Grant won us a playoff game tonight, Game 7. I'm extremely happy for him.
This question is for Jason. What did you guys say to Grant when he came back to the bench? I know that you guys were encouraging him, but like what specifically were you telling him, and how much were you threatening him if he dared not to shoot the ball when you passed it to him?
Yeah, every shot he took tonight was a great shot. He took 22 shots. He could easily took 30. We feel like he passed up or was hesitant because he missed a couple in a row. And I think we just say play the right way, make the right plays. And if Grant took 10 open shots in a row, that's what we expect. When guys be hesitant and pass up open shots, it kind of throws the rhythm of that playoff. So, we tell everybody, when you open, shoot the ball. When we open.
Hey, Jason, every series that you last out is tough, but this one seemed especially physically demanding, mentally demanding, the way you guys came back. It's a short turnaround now to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. How do you guys turn the page both physically and mentally now to get your guys' minds and bodies right for Game 1 in 48 hours?
Yeah, this was, it gets tougher, from first round, second round to the third round. Milwaukee's a great team, extremely well coached. All those guys over there, most of them are champions. Obviously, they did it last year, so it was not easy at all. Got to give them a lot of credit and respect. They made it, extremely tough, and we had to earn this. So enjoy it right now, but go home, pack my bag, and get ready for the next one. Go to Miami.
How grueling the 7-game series against Toronto was a couple of years ago. What do you take from this? Beating what it took to beat Milwaukee and the defending champions.
Yeah, this series was kind of similar to that one. Toronto was the defending champs at that time. I think I've grown in the sense of, being more prepared. Obviously this was, I was tired after every game and things like that, but, my body has matured since, my third season. I'm stronger, I take care of my body better. So I was, just felt more prepared for each game. My body kept up compared to, my third season and things like that. So, it was similar in how tough it was, how they would guard me. Every game was extremely physical. They're a big team, and they just make it tough on you.
I have a couple. Jason, how important was it for you and for this team that it was different guys in almost every game, whether it's Al Horford, Jalen had a game, Grant had his game tonight? How big is that?
It's a team sport. And, in the playoffs, you play somebody 7 times in a row. We know all their plays. They know all our plays. They know all our tendencies. 1 second. And so, they're not just going to let me play free and things like that. So, on different nights, it's going to be different guys, and everybody has to step up to contribute to winning.
And then you mentioned that series against Toronto. You guys get a rematch with Miami. You looking for a little redemption there?
What you want to say? You want to say something?
I would say, Deuce, are you excited to go to Miami? It's a good pool.
So you can go swimming.
I will go swimming at my daddy's and me.
All right, sit back.
Redemption against Miami.
Get to play Miami again. Another, extremely physical team, obviously really well coached. We played them 2 years ago in the conference finals. So just looking forward to it, excited. being back in this position and, you know, trying to get over this hump.
Jason, after game 5, you were rather upbeat. You know, you weren't down. It seemed like you knew that you guys could accomplish this. What made you believe that? And did you really believe that? Or what was going through your mind after that? And then how did you flip the script to kind of blow this team out in the last 2 games?
Yeah, I believed it. I believe in the work that we've put in. I believe in the work that I put in. I was rather more, you know, I was excited for that challenge, you know, down 3-2, backs against the wall to go on the road against a great team and get a must-win game. I was excited for that. As much as it hurt to lose game 5, I was looking forward to that challenge and stepping up to that, you know, because I believe in myself. I believe in this team. You know, I expected to play the way I did. I expected for us to respond the way we did. So as much as game 5 hurt, I was excited for that challenge. Say bye. Say it louder.
Bye.
Win these last 2 games to beat the defending champions, to come back after that game 5 disappointment?
We had to respond. 2 games where our season was on the line, and we didn't want it to be over. You know, we didn't overcome all the stuff that we did earlier in the season for this to be it. We felt like those were games that we should have won. We probably gave them 2 games. So today we wanted to come out and, you know, at the end of the day, on our home floor, we wanted to come out and leave it all out there. And I think that's what we did.
Jalen, if I would have told you, you know, a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, that you'd be in a game 7 in TD Garden and Grant Williams would have 18 3-point attempts, what would be your thought about that?
I would have called you a liar for sure. Hey, man, yeah, that's what they were giving us. Like, it was almost like they were using that defender to just stop me and Jason from getting to what we wanted. So we had to keep making the pass, and he was wide open. And we trust all our guys. Grant is a good shooter. And he came through, man. He got him up. We call him Grant Curry now.
What do you feel the moment meant for him, for your team? He has a lot of energy, big energy player, and it seemed like you really embraced that stage.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. We a team. We win as a team and we lose as a team. I know, like, the storylines and stuff like that make it like if it's a 1-on-1 matchup or a 2-on-2 matchup, we got to come out and just play Celtic basketball and win in any type of way we can. During this series, we showed our versatility that we can win in a multitude of ways. Al Horford had a great game. Grant Williams had a great game tonight. And that's what it takes, a full team effort on defense and offense. So it's great Celtic basketball right there.
Jalen, you hadn't played a ton of minutes with the lineup that closed the 3rd quarter with you, Marcus, Derek, Al, and Grant. What do you just remember about that stretch without Jason when you guys were able to build the lead going into the 4th quarter?
We wanted to take advantage of the mismatches. They wanted me to get the ball and take advantage of the drop coverage that they were in, or get the switch with Bobby Portis. Milwaukee did a good job. I feel like I got some good looks and got my team some good looks. But obviously we could have been better in that stretch. But defensively, I think that's what held our ground. I think we got some big stops in the 4th quarter. I mean, in that 3rd quarter stretch, we got a lot of big stops that helped us maintain the lead and actually push it out a little bit. But we also had some big plays from Derek White, Smart, et cetera. I got to be better in those moments, though, and I look forward to that challenge.
And then as you look ahead to Miami, what carryover besides a lot of the personnel is the same from your series with them 2 years ago?
Tough team full of dogs. Guys is not going to give up. Guys is not going to give you anything, not an inch. So we got to go out and play with poise, play with the same mindset to fight, because I expect nothing less than a great battle.
Jalen, you guys, the way things played out in the regular season, you were able to get home court advantage, and it paid off in this game 7. How important was that to you guys? And what was the crowd like today from start to finish for you guys?
Super important that we played a game 7 on our own floor. I think our crowd, our energy, definitely we fed off that tonight. Especially when you have guys like Peyton and Grant who get into the game and feed off the energy of the crowd is different if you're in a different arena. So having home court was huge for us. I'm glad we made the decisions we did down the line, and going forward, we just got to continue to play basketball, continue to be aggressive, and looking forward to each individual challenge that we all going to be presented with. And I think ultimately we'll be fine.
Jalen, you and Grant had a little exchange in the middle of the second quarter where he wanted him to shoot and he didn't, and then the play kind of broke down. You guys called timeout. What did you say to him that moment? And then that turned into a 3 for him after.
I told him he has to shoot it. Like I know that's what they want, but it's a wide open shot. He's a good shooter. And the way they were guarding us, they were taking away, some of the things that, are my advantages when I'm driving to the paint, trying to be aggressive. So if they're off that far, either you got to shoot it or you got to go into another action right away. But preferably, Brook Lopez is going to be in the paint. You got to knock that shot down. It's the right shot. Step up. I believe in you. Grant Curry, come on, knock it down.
Jalen, 4th time in 6 years for you that you're going to be heading to the conference finals. You got multiple guys on the team who have been included in that run. Why do you, and I know those first 3 hurt, but why do you believe that this is the team that's going to get over the hump in this next series?
This is the group I feel like is poised enough to get it done. I feel like everything that we've overcome, all these battles and challenges and adversity that we've been through this season, as well as the challenge that we just had overcoming the defending champs. I think that we are prepared. I think that we're ready to take that next step. We just got to go out and take it. I know Miami is a team that's waiting for us. They're not going to back down. They're not going to give up, and neither are we. So I'm looking forward to it.
Jalen, you came in from that Brooklyn series, and game 1 was kind of that smack in the face, a little bit something different, unexpected. Now you're going into Miami. What do you take? What do you take from this series that prepares you for that first hit from them in game 1?
We just can't be surprised. Got to expect the same level of physicality, if not more. Milwaukee, I think, did a great job of preparing us for Miami, because Milwaukee is a super physical team on offense and defense. Like Drew Holiday, Giannis, Wes Matthews, all of those, Brook Lopez, all of those guys are extremely physical. So I think just maintaining that same mindset going into the next series, that is going to be physical, and we can't be afraid to take on that challenge and can't shy away from it. I think Milwaukee did a good job of preparing us for what's next.
Final 2. I'm kidding. First of all, Jalen, how big was Ime in this series for you guys in his first year as a head coach, as far as keeping your minds right, and then also all of the adjustments he was making throughout?
Fantastic for a first-year coach. It's almost, I feel like it's unheard of. His level of poise, his level of confidence never changed. Even when we were down, 2-1, or when we were down 3-2, like you could tell in the look in his eyes that we were going to win this series. We just needed to handle our business, and sometimes you can get in those moments and go away from everything, or start to make over adjustments. And he didn't. Like, we maintained our poise, we maintained our head, kept our confidence, and found a way to win the series.
And then, like you said, this was a very physical series. Just how banged up are you guys? And with this short turnaround, how much do you have left?
It's all mental. So, at this point in the year, everybody dealing with everything. So we didn't came this far, and we still got a long journey ahead. So whatever you got to do, get your mind right, get your body right, and get ready to go. It's really no excuses.
Looked like you had a chat with Giannis after the game. Just what does it take to compete against that dude for 7 games? And what do you how do you view him after that?
Yeah, Giannis is, best player in the world. You can see why a lot of people say that. I think that He's just relentless in his approach. He is aggressive all the time, and he's just not going to be denied. And that was tough for us, this series. His level of physicality, challenged us all, and to be disciplined, to match his aggressiveness, and it was incredible the way he was able to do with his team. They're scoring 90, 100 points, and Giannis got 40 of them in multiple games. Like, that shit is crazy. Giannis is a great player, and he knows that. And we give respect, credit where credit is due.